Hello. In this video, we're going to walk through the student profile in EduClimber. So as you know, this is your home screen. When you log in, this is what you'll see. Over on the left-hand side, you can see all these little buttons that you can select from. We're going to go ahead and click on the top one, Student Profile. When the student profile pops up here, you can search for students. Again, it's all based on permission, so you'll only be able to see what you have permission to see. If you're a classroom teacher, for example, you're likely only going to see the students in your class versus maybe an instructional coach or an MTSS coordinator who might be able to see everybody from their school. So we're going to just type in, I have on the security mode, top secret mode, so that you can't see any student names. So we're going to go ahead and click on a student. And here you can see their profile page. Any data from the year is going to be showing up on here that's currently in the system. Certainly we can add more data as we move forward with this. But over on the side is your student demographic page. You have date of birth, gender, ethnicity, the school, the grade, ELL status, IEP status. If you need more information about a student, you can click on their student data page and you can scroll through a variety of different fields. So our demographic page is where we're logging IEP and parent name. We do not pull over the disabilities. We are just saying yes or no to IEPs, grades, courses, schools. Scores will be in there, incidents, and enrollment. So if you needed some additional information about a student, that's where it's going to be. Down here next, you'll see attachments. If you have, let's say, EST plans from the past, you can certainly download those as a PDF and upload them here. That way we continue to keep that historical data. You can also assign staff members to this student's team. That could be helpful so that you know exactly who is involved with a student at a time. If there's coming up on a meeting, you know who to invite, those kinds of things. Up here at the top, you can see incidents. When you click on an incident, it will take you into a little bit more detail. If there's more of them, obviously these graphs will help. You can go to data lists and it will outline, it'll show you a chart where it'll give you a little bit more detail of just each individual incident. Right over here, this insights, when you click on it, if you have several write-ups, for example, on a particular student, it will analyze that data for you and pick up trends to let you know what the system is saying are patterns. Down here, if you have any interventions assigned to this student that you're using progress monitoring tools for, those are going to show up here. Okay. Up here, we have two different ways to look at attendance. The first way is the full day rate. That means the system is bringing in all of the attendance data, tardies, full day absences, absence by period, all of those things. This rate is saying that is figuring in all of those things. So if a student was not here for a complete day, meaning they missed class time in one way, shape, or form, that's what this rate is saying. Okay, so she's at 80.77 in terms of her rate of actually attending classes daily. The SIS report, however, that's coming over from your Power School. That's saying, were they logged in as present in the morning or not? That's it. So these are really helpful because a student, obviously, she's been there frequently. This is looking pretty good for her, that she shows up to school regularly. However, she seems to be missing, or this person seems to be missing class more often. So that might be something to look at if you have a student who's doing really well here, but they're never in class for a variety of different reasons. That's really important for us to note. Some other important things about up here: if a student has smart forms attached to them, let's say an EST plan or something along those lines, those forms are going to show up here. You can click on it and then it'll show you all the forms that are there that you can access. Comments would be, these are public comments. So if you're the owner of the comment, it's going to show up here for that student. If somebody else puts a comment on that student, but they marked it private, you won't be able to see it. But if they marked it public, you will. Tags, those can be used for a variety of different reasons. Right now, we have a threshold set up so that if a student reaches a certain attendance absence rate, then they will automatically receive a tag. That's just an alert saying, hey, we need to keep an eye on this student. It's also a way that we can filter students when we're looking at our data in other areas of the system. If the student met any sort of threshold, that would show up here. And observations can also be tracked here. Then we're going to get into the scores. So all of the scores are listed on the first little tab here, as you can work through and break it down into different areas. So if you just wanted to see literacy or math, behavior, which is behavior is just your BIMAS data. It is not your incidents. Your incidents, remember, are logged over here. And combined performance, in this case, it is your academic grades. Okay? So if I was looking at all, you can click into this data as well and get more information. So if I were to click there, I can now see the trend line. Okay, so this is down here is the student. Here is your district average. This student has progressed quite a bit towards the district average, which is fantastic. Down here, if there is any other data associated with this is reading here, map reading, you can see that down here. Okay. Sometimes there are sub-assessments associated. In this case, there are. So you can also see those: literary text, vocabulary, and informational text. Okay. You can make a comment about this if you want, and remember, those comments show up right up here at the top. Okay. So those are the basics of the student profile. This information is really neat too. If you go here, you can see their data. It'll track it for you. Okay. So it's showing more. This is showing all of your graphs in one spot. So that's kind of interesting. Up here at the top is a create button. You can create an assessment report. This is going to compare it's going to create a huge document of all of this student's data. Each chart will break down each score. It'll have whatever the score was on one side, that's for that student, and on the other side, it will have the district score or the district average chart, which is pretty cool. And then you can add a monitoring measure right from there as well. Okay. As always, if you have any questions, please go to your MTSS coordinator in your building, and they will make sure to either answer your question or pass that question along so we can get you the answers that you need. Thanks so much.